Wow. That's a good bit. All right. Good morning, friends. So today's episode is going to be a little different. We're going to attempt now to finally do our first pickup. And what I have here is a kit from StuMac. And we're going to build it. Now, this is the old pickup that came out of the telly. And so before we do anything, I'm going to get some data. I recently bought a vintage fluke meter rack mount. I've just been like drooling over this thing. I've been so excited to get it for no reason. I have a voltmeter, but it's not a rack mount fluke. So anyway, we're gonna set up, and I've got both voltmeters, but what I wanna do is I wanna take some readings of this, which really all I can do is measure resistance. I don't have a Gauss meter, but I've been looking. The Gauss meter is to measure magnetism strength, I think. Regardless, we're going to take this apart. It's actually as apart as I think I can even get it. It's got wax all over it. It's kind of gross. But we're going to take this apart, ohm it, document what we have, and then when I build this, I have no set numbers I'm trying to achieve other than I know I want 8,000 coils or 8,000 windings. It doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter to directly replicate this. In fact, I don't even want to replicate this because I'm pretty sure this didn't sound great. The point is just to have some readings, which is just going to be resistance. I'm just going to ohm it out right there just to play with my new meter. And then we're going to start building our jigs and stuff for this. StuMac comes with directions. It has a couple of directions and things to do. So the main point of today really is just to get in the shop and make a couple of things. Yeah, kind of has a little guide. But we want to make these tools. We have a whole bunch of new tools now in the shop, and you've watched it before. It's been kind of unorganized. It's still a little unorganized, but you know, we have bandsaw now, drill press, the lathe, planer that has nothing to do with pickups. We're just trying to acquire all the tools that we need, right? Because this is a new journey to create this. Regardless, today's goal is to make tools for pickups and ultimately have a pickup finished by the end of this episode. So that's what we're going to do today. Make a turning jig for the pickup winding, make our little flatwork piece to get our perfect height for the pickups, drill the holes, whatever. It ain't rocket science. Here we go. All right, according to the StuMac paperwork, it's telling you what dimensions and what pole pieces to use and your distance between for your pole pieces. Now, it's also telling you about making jigs. I really hate standard measurements, 1964ths. That sucks. I hate that. Why can't we just use metric? The whole world should just use metric. Regardless, it's wanting me to make a jig 1 1/4 thick by 3/8 wide. So it's wanting me to make a jig so that I can space my flat work properly, and then put my pieces down. So we're gonna go ahead and make the jig. We're gonna make a couple jigs today. We're gonna make the jig to build this pickup flat work apparatus, and then we're gonna make a jig that we're gonna run on the lathe. So do a little brain work, and then I'll show the process. kind of talk out loud here, but it says to drill a hole through this. So we have a pair of calipers. Like I said, the ink metric is just so much better, in my opinion, but we can measure in inches and see what it says. It says these pole pieces, which I bought them, I don't remember. Is this on? Yeah. What about, no, metroc. We got 5 millimeters. Now, are they all 5 millimeters? Are they all the same height? So it's 5 millimeter by 17. Sure, they're all the same exact thing. According to this, though, there's 2 of them that are a little different. There are, in fact, 2 that are a little different. Let's zoom in here real good. So just with these clamped up in here, this is very interesting. Squeeze them. These 2, look. These 2. This one and this one. Look at that. So those 2, the bigger ones, are my center pickups. See that? Maybe that's hard to see. But these can roll freely. I know that's weird. They're just ever so short, ever so slightly smaller. So these 2 pickups, or these 2 magnets, are my center pickups. So it's going to be like this, with those 2 in the middle. So it's going to be like that. Those 2 that are longer, I know you probably can't see it, it's just ever so slightly longer. So this is how it's going to work. So these 2 are my longer. I'll point with this old pencil. These 2 pickups are longer. And their distance is closer together at 0.68 inches. These are all 0.63. So 0.63 from here to here, 6.8, 6.3. I think it's literally wanting me to use this piece according to the directions. It's not really you know, English. It's almost Chinese. Because now it wants me to cut another piece of flatwork. 2.5 inches by 7/16 by 1/8. See, I thought the whole point of this, so it wants this to be 7/16 tall. I'm so confused with what I'm doing with these 2 pieces of wood. What the crap are they for? Okay. This is literally just to hold this while I hit them in place. So let me go find a 5 millimeter drill bit, or it says 19/64 to drill this. And this is literally, like I said, just to hold the magnet while you're pressing it. Is that necessary? No, because I feel like I could just, you know, press it. Also, I think you're supposed to chamfer these. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Completely not necessary. This piece is so not necessary at all. But the press is, because it's taken a rather good amount of force to get it in there. But there it is. Now my two bigger pickups or bigger magnets are in the middle. So that's sick. But there it is. This piece that StewMac wants you to make to put it in like this is kind of stupid. But I do know that I want you to have two pieces like this to do your pickup height. But what I'm gonna make a really big one, drill my holes, and then split it right down the center. That way it'll kind of cradle each one of these. That's my plan anyway. So this next piece, 2.5 inches long by 7/16 by 1/8. I assume 7/16 high, 1/8 thick. I'm gonna make it bigger than that because I'm just going to. Okay, so this will work. So right now I have this at 9/16. I'm gonna take it down to 7/16. Reference for people who don't know what they're doing. Me. Here I am talking to a camera that's not on. So the total length of this in metric, where's my metric? 34.2. So my midline is 17.1. It's pretty close. Yeah, back in college we had these sick drafting tables. Can't remember what all the equipment was called, but you had a big marble slab. You would do your drafting on it, and it was sick. Is that's just going to be my center line, and I'm going to basically overlay this on it and mark out my holes, drill it, and then go cut it in half on the bandsaw. Yep. Again, everything's kind of getting really hillbilly apparatus at the moment, but if it works. Hopefully I got this right. We'll know real fast. What a difficult thing to try to make right now. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point of this. Oh, let me turn on this brilliant light here. Dag nabbit, stinking Harbor Freight headlight, baby. This makes me feel, I feel the age now. Look at that, zoomed in. Oh yeah. hopefully this, you like that headlight? Man, that's great. Hopefully this lines up. All right, back to the workbench. Let's see, moment of truth. Ta-da, it worked. So my next trick now is I'm gonna take it to the bandsaw and just cut down the middle so that I can clamp it around, right? Because you don't wanna do this. Yeah, might need to just make them a little bigger because look, the pickups, the pole pieces don't fit in there. Now it might fit around this way. Let me try to find just a ever so bigger bit and ream these out. I'm gonna ream all my holes out with this 5.2 millimeter drill bit because the 5 millimeter was just too tight. Everything's a wood bit if you just imagine it is. Wow! That's a good bit. Much better, probably. Oh yeah, that's so much better. So these are 5.2 millimeter, and this is not going to be for everybody, right? Let's see if this will work. Yes, that's beautiful. Now I'm going to just go cut this center line all the way down. So I'll have the jig to go on the outside. You band it up, boom, bada bing, bada boom, done. So let's go back to the bandsaw. I'm not going to be like super science on this piece. I'm just going to now these, let's Ford focus here, baby. Ford focus. Ford focus. All right, don't film in cinematic mode. Now these will clamp to the outside of my pickup. Here we go. Now, this clampy apparatus, right? Clamp. This smash. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think where I messed up though is I should have chamfered these pickups. I'm pretty sure that's a thing people do, but we'll figure it out. Now I need some rubber bands. Rubber bands. I don't have any. I could have made those holes a little bigger. See that? But it'll hold it in place, I think. Also, I think before I go whacking on stuff, I think I'm supposed to super glue this here. Yeah, I think these are all supposed to be like, you know, get them all flat. Super glue them in place. I'll read on. Tap it with a frick. Oh, you know what? That piece that I said was stupid, this. Once you put this piece on, you can like lay this over it to help push through. Oh, that's kind of sick. You like my my headlamp that's on? Yeah, the tallest pieces first. Alternate between them, applying pressure tapping. Use D&G poles, start, come, blah, blah. Choose your wire. Now, nowhere does it say anything about super glue. In fact, nowhere does it say anything about, dang, look at that. Hillbilly coil winder. That's genius. That's what I'm talking about. Again, StuMac knows its audience. Let me go find a rubber band. Couldn't find. Am I getting robbed? Couldn't find any rubber bands, but I got the good old hillbilly rubber band right here. So, what are we going to do? How does this work? We're going to put these around. And now, hindsight, I wish I would have radiused this so that this would like flow a little better. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Didn't. I'm sure. I hope one day some professional luthier watches this video and goes, holy crap. This guy. Get a load of this guy. He's a genius. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm a genius. Genius. Look at that. That's better than rubber bands. All right, so now this piece is here. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to super glue this. I'm like almost positive. I don't know. Now, if we look very closely, we could have made those bigger than 5 millimeters, but I think it will still serve its purpose of holding them up straight. Those two don't look straight at all. Now, what the directions say is to press the two in the middle first. So we're going to go back to the drill press and try our hand at, you know, pressing these. Those definitely aren't straight. Holy crappy. Holy crappy. All right, to the drill press. Now, you know, the whole point of this journey is to learn. Why would I ever go to school for this when I can just watch endless episodes of YouTubey, good old Tubi, and, you know, figure it out. And that's exactly, boy, are we sure figuring it out here. That's for sure. That is for score and for sure. Yep. There's my pressing apparatus. Now, we're going to press, yeah. We're going to press this baddie. Starting here because that one's lining up. And then let's raise the old table. Loose. Which way's loose? Oh gosh. Yeah. Up, 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 up. There we go. Give her the old. Yep. All right. We're just going to give it a little. Wow. That is so bad. Wow. Look how far off that is. Maybe we start them. Then. Yeah. Then. That's much better. Oh. Okay. That's good. Yeah. Okay, that was the trick. Don't put these on until right about now o'clock. Maybe once you get it so far, then you put this on like so. Hit it with the, yep, that's it. Okay. All right, lesson learned. These go on next. Everything's in. Press your pieces up, flat, like so. Little finagly. Put your bobber boobers on, okay? Now, that's where they come into play, right here. That way, you can actually navigate the pieces in, but that's good. That's much better. Again, hindsight, I'll probably definitely remake this. It's a little short. Don't mind it, but I'm sure the height of your coil, I'm not sure, I'm positive, and by positive, I've studied on YouTube University, that the height of your coil will make a huge, huge difference in, uh, is the word I'm looking for capacitance? No, inductance. Yep. So the way you build your coil matters now. You know, what's the grand scheme of this all? Is the grand scheme just to make YouTube video? Maybe. Or is the grand scheme to make a archive of things that work and things that don't? Now that sounds much better. Much more. This is why Studio Mac wanted you to do this. Because I don't know. Hello? Hello? There we go. Don't know how you do this without some kind of thing like so. Yeah, that's why. Wow, look at that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. That to me looks like a guitar pickup. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this part real flat like I said I should have earlier and super glued it. Maybe, we'll just go over here and do it. Back to the old science lab. We're going to find the super glue that I've laid somewhere. Found it. Right where I left it. Right where I left it. Hopefully this doesn't saturate through and glue the dang old piece of wood to the pickups, because that would be suck big time. Now, it's not rocket appliance. Maybe if I did it where you could see it. Add a little dab of glue on each pole piece. Around the flat work. Then you probably get a shop rag and wipe it off, the excess, really fast like so, like this. Doink. Then you do the same thing at the top. So. You hope you don't glue your just whack everything once real quick. It smells like super glue, so that's good. Yes, you glue your thumb to the paper towel. This is why I use rubber bands. Hey, good. That's a freaking pickup flatwork, boy, if I've ever seen one. Shoot. Shoot. Now we're going to keep super gluing. We're going to super glue on the insides just to really lock it in. Just to really lock everything in real good. There's the old hobo freight. All right. I'm going to go around each piece down here. I know I've already glued it on one side, but I just really don't want any of these pieces to move. Boy, I'm sure there are some pros out there going to watch this and say, gosh, I need to take some guitar building lessons from this guy. What a genius. The way he uses that applicator, wow. Never seen something so brilliant. Let's put the old Hobart light back on. Please hold. Yeah, look at that. So now we can see, if you look here, I have super glue here. I have super glue there. It's already dried. And then I'm going to do this side super glue. And I think we're like 90% ready. Let's get this bottom. Let's get this piece now. This is just to really lock in this position. Is this necessary? Probably so. Is it necessary to do both sides? Probably not, but better safe than sorry. Nervous. I don't know why, it's just super glue. See how shaky? What's wrong with me? Oops. There we go. I think once you use these tips, it's probably one and done. We'll get this piece in there and try to accelerate the drying process. The good news, hey, look at this fluke meter. The good news about it is it doubles as a junk holder. So that's cool. Yeah. Definitely need to get some lights up in here, at least in this little workstation. Pretend this is a Q-tip. Yeah, see, because if you don't hit it, if you don't get the excess off, it kind of just stays wet. So we'll hit it with this real quick. That's nice. Hit it up here real quick. Hit it around that real quick. A little dusty. That's the start of a pickup, ladies and gents. Wow, there it is. The beginning of the pickup journey. This is pickup number 1. Nice. Now, where are we at with all this rambling and stuff we've done? We've got the pickup bobbin created. I'm so proud of this. Quick recap. We made these wooden blocks for our pickup height and to keep our poles straight as we hammer everything in, right? So that's sick. Yep, I should have marked where they came from, whatever. I'll go ahead and mark that down real quick while it's on my mind. And let's do one more thing. Telly, 10.5 millimeter. Again, trying to document as much as possible. Okay, but you don't care. All right, so now we've created our bobbin. And my next trick is to create a base plate out of some board so I can mount it to my lathe. And it's basically just going to consist of exactly that. A round piece of wood. I'm going to insert a magnet on it so that my coil counter can pick it up a little better. What I have now I don't think is ideal. But just a round piece of wood, and I'll drill a center line, or I'll put it in the chuck, mark a center line, and then find a way to bolt this to it, which I'm probably going to use this hole in between these two pickups to run a line, and then 2 pins. So 1 hole, 2 pins, should be good. Should be. We're about to find out shortly. So let's get to making the board. All right, and for this process, I'm going to remove my bandsaw piece all the way so I can kind of freehand this circle, hopefully. Use this rotten piece of wood and just something like right in there. This lid, yep, it's good enough. This lid, will that fit on that lid? Oh yeah, that's good. Thing. Bing. Circle. All right, now on to phase whatever of the process. This is going to be an attempt to get a center line on this, which now, in hindsight, I should have just made a square. And then I could have crossed my lines, drilled a center hole, and life would have been way easier. But I didn't, because I'm kind of stupid. So I've got a center point on here. I need to get this proc sensor back here with a magnet on it, or embed a magnet here, which would be kind of hard. It'd probably be better if it was back here. Drill a hole here. I need to cut some kind of groove on the back, and then I can insert my jaw chucks in it like a bowl. So maybe I am gonna put a hole through here, flip it, spin it, and then just cut a little groove out. Probably. There she blows. Yeah, if I was smart, which I'm not, I would get my dust collector out and try to collect up all this junk that's about to come off of this. But that's too much work. Dagnabbit. I'm not here to work. I'm here to goof. That's what we have. Bro, I know for a fact. One day, somebody out in the wild's gonna see this and be like, "You, sir, are a moron. Not only are you a moron, but you're also stupid." All right, the moment of truths. Will this be able to hook on? All right, we got it now. Great, that's great. So what do? We milled out the inside. I'm gonna change this piece out for a drill bit that will center it up, and hopefully it all goes well. It's it's looking good. Now, in my instance, I'm just going to basically chuck it up reverse. Right there. Yep, that's pretty good. It's probably forced in. Let's see if we can get it like this. Yeah, there we go. Take that out. Put the drilling chuck in. These are all just pressure locked, right? They're just pressured in. Does that make sense? It made sense in my head. Now, we determined that this is the bit that will fit perfectly through my bobbin. Perfectly enough. So that's going to be my center point. Know what I'm saying? I bet I don't even have a colic for this. Here we go. Now you could do this several ways. I could feed it with the piece, but I'm not. You gotta be real careful with these bits here, these brad points, because they love to break. There we go, we're through. Yay! We made it. All right, so now, don't look at that. What's the next steps? Get this mounted. Get 2 pins that go here. Probably what I'll do is just drive nails in it. Like literally something, it'll literally look something like this. Check this out. Let's zoom you down here so you can see my thought process in real time. Oh yeah, that's the one. So I'm going to drive these 2 nails in like so, and then cut them off so that they're just studs. What I'm going to have to do is cut them off where they don't even stick up above this, where they're just barely there. Because, and I might just need 1, because obviously I can't spin a coil if it's out like this. Okay, there's my studs. Back you out. So there's my 2 studs. So here's my piece. I'm going to cut these down very short. Maybe just go grind them. Cut them and then grind them. Yeah. I'm going to go cut them where they're just barely in there. See that? Pull out the old Sharpie. Just barely, bro. Like. And we're back. Here we go. So, there it is. Now that one needs to be a little shorter, because that will catch. But that's pretty dang good. Pretty daggone good right there. And this is just to add a little bit more juice to the equation. Actually, I could just knock it in a wee bit. Now we're good and flush. Still doesn't solve the bolt problem. Maybe that would solve the bolt problem. However, I need threads, so be good to go. Sick. Going well. Everything's going so good. We're back. Now we have this coil spinner jig. And my next thing to do is, it has a proc sensor. I'm going to insert this into the wood, embed it into the wood. That way the proc sensor can pick it up. So, not super rocket science. At least I don't think so. Just enough for this. Oh yeah, look at that. That's perfect. It's okay that it sticks out, because when my chuck's chucked on here, it gets really close. So this is perfect. Now we're gonna super glue it. All right, magnets super glued in. Now I have to find the optimal place to put this proc sensor, which is going to read the magnet. I had it on the top before, but that's just not it. But essentially like this. All right, we got it set. And here's what we've done. We put a 90-degree bend on this bracket on the back side, really close to the chuck. There's our distance now. It's not parallel with it, but that's fine. It works. All right, now to answer the question of how I mount the pickup. I'm going to, step one is lose the pickup that you just had in your hand. That was in your hand. There it is. It's right there. All right. So got these machining screws from Home Depot. Run the screw. I don't have any washers. Should be fine. I'm just going to run the screw through this hole and then put a nut on the back. And that should be more than sufficient. Now, it would be nice to have a screw or to have a washer on it, but the head butts up against, if we can get her in there, the head butts up against the magnets. Some sort of something there. Needs a washer, but this will hold it in place. Goes through the hole. That is too small. I have my pins. They're going to line up there, just like that. Put a nut on the back. There we go. That's ready to be spun. And since I have a hole here, obviously this isn't going to hit. There it is. Now this thing might be cooking a little bit too quick. I think we're spinning a little too fast. So down here on this wonderful lathe, right, down to this belt. So I got to go to that smallest loop. And now we're switched. Significantly slower. I don't know for a fact if this is spinning the right direction. Actually, I think it's not. I think it's not spinning the right direction. Unfortunately, I can't verify on this pickup. All right, we're gonna take this pickup off. I see now it is soldered. Wax everywhere. It's got a solder point here on this back side. I'm gonna unsolder it. It looks like it's almost pulled through. I'm going to unsolder it so I can try to see where these pickup windings are. All right, we got the tape off. Now this is maybe difficult to see. Let's see. But here, if we look, let me see if I can get a headlamp for us. So there, the first wire starts here on the white side, and it is ran counterclockwise. Then here is our ground lead. The only way I know that, sorry for this There we go. So the way you can tell is because this one's buried and it's smooth at the end. And obviously it's coming out to here. So this one's going in, the white lead is in, the black lead is out on the top of the coil. So they started here, ran it counterclockwise. Now my lathe is spinning. Is it spinning counterclockwise? Yes. So starts here for this particular instance. Now every other video I've watched, they start here and they run counterclockwise. Yeah. So anyway, starts here, ends here. Starts on the white, ends on the black. Counterclockwise. Mystery solved. I stand corrected. My lathe is already spinning counterclockwise. If I wanted to spin this exact coil, right, I would solder my first lead here and go clockwise. Yeah, first lead here and go clockwise. Now, will it be bad if I go ahead and make my hot lead here? Right, I would just reverse them and then spin it counterclockwise because that's the only way I can do it. I can't solder it here on this top eyelet, or I can't solder it here and go, because then I'll cross over my leads. They'll cross over, which might short or shunt. So I got to go here, or I can flip the bobbin over. But now these two pins won't be doing anything. I'm like 100% sure there's no way to reverse polarity to make this motor spin the opposite direction. Maybe, but I don't think so. Good news. I didn't think it was possible to reverse polarity on a 120 motor, but the good old gentleman at Craftsman, you see that? For reversing, interchange yellow leads in terminal. This baddie can be flipped. Well, good.